How the heck are we gonna travel after coronavirus? The thought of this is absolutely daunting. How has the industry been affected? Which of the countries in our world are struggling the most? What type of travel will open up first? How are airlines gonna keep us safe? Will plane tickets be cheaper? All very valid questions that I'm sure are on all of our minds, especially those adventure enthusiasts like me.
Bye, have a great time.
In this episode, we are going to discuss all of them from the perspective of an avid world traveler. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Dame Untamed. Thank you to those who are tuning in and have been here before, and welcome to those who are new. My name is Nikki, and I am a major travel junkie who is patiently waiting to plan her next adventure. All right, so up until now, I've refrained from discussing coronavirus in my videos. Ew. Because I've currently been showing you videos of my previous travel adventures, I've really focused on sharing my personal experiences and the information about the destinations that I've been visiting. But at this point, I feel like it's really important for me to discuss this global pandemic that we're all facing by discussing how it's going to impact us globetrotters who are always eager to plan our next adventure, and also to shed a little bit of light on some of the really devastating impacts to the tourism industry. Before I say anything else, I feel like I need to send out a huge thank you to all of our frontline and essential service workers who have all been working so hard to keep us safe. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for putting yourselves at risk so that the rest of us can continue on with our lives. Thank you. So I don't know about you guys, but I am seriously missing this little guy. Oh, raise your hand if you're in the same boat. Yeah. I honestly think this is the first time in years that I have not actively had an adventure planned for me to look forward to. It's a really weird feeling. Some of you may not know this, but my 30th birthday, is coming up in the next month. And I had really been hoping to plan something extraordinary, something really special to celebrate such a huge milestone. Ugh. I've had a lot of people ask me if there was anywhere in the world that you could go, if there was anything that you could do or any place that you could visit, where would it be? Now, obviously, for somebody like me, that's a really hard question to answer. Like, I want to go everywhere. There's literally not a place on earth, well, I can maybe name a few, but there are not many places on this earth where I would say no to. If I really think about it though, there's one place that stands out just a little bit from the rest. My dream trip would be to swim with humpback whales in the Polynesian Islands. Tonga, if I could ever afford it. I was really looking forward to planning something like epic like that this year. And you know, obviously that's not gonna happen, and that's, I don't know, that's pretty upsetting for me. Now don't get me wrong, the idea of traveling after these unprecedented times will bring a lot of people a lot of anxiety, and myself included 100%. Currently, most of us are feeling nervous about taking a trip out to the grocery store to stock up on essential items once or twice a week, let alone gathering in an international building and climbing onto a metal tube full of strangers and their germs. I mean, we've all seen bathrooms in airports and airplanes. Generally, they ain't pretty. As someone who has spent many hours in airports, long layovers, and upwards of like 90 flights in her lifetime, I think I would know. Hey guys, I'm here in Bangkok, Thailand, in the airport. I've got 12 hours to kill, and this is my little nest bed I've created for myself, complete with Netflix, books, and snacks. It's my honest opinion that it's gonna take a really long time for people to be able to trust airlines and for travel to resume anything close to normal, which is honestly so sad. However, as someone who is actively trying to build her life around travel, and for someone who finds joy and purpose in exploring the world and trying new things and meeting new people, I gotta admit, the loosening of all the restrictions has got me pretty excited to start exploring again, but once it is safe to do so. Okay, so we all know the travel and tourism industry has been one of the hardest hit industries during this pandemic, affecting millions of people all over the world. Let's quickly talk numbers.
$2.1 trillion.
These numbers are terrifying, especially for the nations that rely so heavily on tourism for their economy. After doing quite a bit of research, I found that there are a lot of countries who truly rely on the travel and tourism industry. Most of these nations were island nations. It turns out that the Philippines has the highest number of people who rely on jobs in the tourism industry. One of the most rewarding parts of traveling, and one of my favorite parts of traveling, is meeting people. Meeting people from all over the world with different backgrounds and cultures, and knowing that so many of the people that I've encountered who have been responsible for making my trips that much better, my adventures that much more exciting. The dive masters, the accommodation staff, the tour guides, the people in the local restaurants that are making you the best meals that you've ever had in your life. My heart honestly goes out to the families whose lives and livelihoods have been completely shattered due to the current crisis. Okay, so what are experts predicting for the future of travel? Some people might think that 2 years is a while, but honestly, if you really think about it, with the possibility of a second wave, with the unknowns regarding when a vaccine might become available, plus, people actually being able to trust airlines again. We might have a vaccine one day, but then, how long is it gonna take for people to really feel comfortable getting on a flight and doing any sort of international travel? But what about before then? Are we just not gonna travel anywhere for 2 years? Probably not. I think we're gonna see a huge spike in domestic travel. Staycations, if you will. It makes sense. The closer to home you are, the more comfortable and safer people are gonna feel. Even now, it's noticeable that people are eager to get out and visit green spaces and parks now that things are slowly starting to reopen. But you gotta be following the physical distancing guidelines, people. While we're on the topic of traveling close to home and enjoying the great outdoors, I thought I would show you a quick tutorial on how to not travel safely. Huge shout out to these dummies who were unsafely gathered at Trinity Bellwoods Park in Toronto, Canada this past week. Shame on you. Come on, guys. I had a conversation with a friend the other day who lives in the city, and she was telling me that there were other parks to choose from that were not packed solid like Trinity Bellwoods. Grow up, people. We all got lives that we want to get back to, and you ain't helping. So as the economy slowly starts to open, people are going to become more and more confident with maybe going away for a night or two, which means that destinations that can be reached by car are probably going to make a pretty swift comeback. Road trips, camping trips, national park adventures are probably going to become even more popular than they already are. During this time of heightened domestic travel, I really encourage people to take advantage of what their home country has to offer. So many people, when they think of travel, are so eager for international travel. I've been to 24 countries. I'm guilty of that. But now is the perfect opportunity to support local and to help boost your country's economy back up. Luckily for us Canadians, we've got a visually stunning backyard, and each province and territory has its own unique beauty to offer. Generally, closer to home means cheaper. This will be super important given the fact that the entire globe is dealing with a financial crisis right now, and a lot of people have lost a lot of money. All right, so let's talk airports. When air travel starts to pick up again, how different are things gonna look? What's gonna be the new norm? There's a lot of speculation about how airplanes and airports are gonna handle the new sanitation requirements for having mass crowds pass through. Already, we're starting to see major changes in certain airports. As of May 15th, Air Canada is mandating pre-flight temperature checks and is already working on adding electrostatic sprayers to spray and disinfect the cabins of each plane. The Hong Kong airport is already testing decontamination chambers, as well as adding little cleaning robots, as well as testing a antimicrobial coating that will be put on all of the high touch surfaces like railings and the elevators and doors. Emirates Airlines has even gone as far as to require passengers to submit a COVID-19 blood test. This is just the beginning. All right, so what major changes are in store for airports and air travel? The age of sanitized travel. Things are gonna look totally different. Check-ins are likely to be all done online. Pre-purchasing of masks and gloves for when entering airports and airplanes. Also, something that I found was pretty interesting, there's gonna be something called an immunity passport. So for passengers that can prove that they were infected with coronavirus and then had successfully recovered, the science says that they have likely built up the immunity or the antibodies so that they will not contract it again. When you have your immunity passport, you're able to upload it and get it verified. Like, that to me sounds like it's probably gonna happen. It's likely that people are gonna have to start arriving at the airport a lot earlier than they had been previously. They're saying minimum 4 hours. It's probably gonna be mandatory for there to be some airport curbside disinfectant chambers or tunnels of some sort. People are talking about thermal scanners, even biomedical CT scans, where you're not only being scanned to see if you have a knife in your pocket, but you're being scanned to see internally if you are healthy enough to be traveling. The sanitation of bags is gonna be huge. It's gonna happen pretty much in every step. I think everything that I was reading was calling it sanitagged now. Like, bags will be sanitagged. When passing through security, trays and all of the things that are normally touched during security are gonna be sanitized like crazy. When you reach the boarding area, it's likely that things are gonna be quite different as well. Boarding times are gonna be so much longer. In order to keep that physical distancing mandated, only a certain amount of people are gonna be allowed in the jet bridge. Seating in the waiting areas is gonna be a lot sparse. Sparser or more sparse? Probably more sparse. Sparsed. Seating in the waiting area is gonna be far more sparse. Another thing that I thought was pretty neat that most people were talking about would be vending machines that are set up in the boarding areas that are touchless and that dispense grab and go meals. Once you get on the plane, I think that it's gonna be a very different experience than it has been in the past. Flight attendants, their jobs are likely gonna look so different.
Have your attention for just a moment. We're going to go over the important safety features of this Boeing 737-700. We got 6 emergency exits on this aircraft, 2 forward exit doors, 2 overwing window exits, and 2 rear exits. There's a safety information card located in the seatbelt pocket nearest you. Red strap, remove the vest from the container, place it over your head, wrap that strap around your waist, and buckle it in the front. Pull on the seat, tube at your shoulder. Alright guys, your flight attendants or
There will definitely be set sanitation times. I've heard talks of each plane having its own janitors who is responsible for consistently keeping all of the high touch surfaces clean. Extra safety videos regarding sanitation. The back pockets of each of the seats will likely be empty. They're even talking about putting plastic shields around each seat. It's gonna look so different. Digital menus, cashless cabin, certain rows will be empty, certain seats will be empty. It's likely that planes will be flying at a 60-70% capacity. Okay, currently things are looking cheap. But I mean, of course fares are gonna be low. There are currently huge travel restrictions in place, and I mean, people are pretty uncomfortable with the idea of getting on a plane. Therefore, along with really low fares, airlines are no longer charging for cancellation or change fees, which is completely unheard of. That's where they really get you. But will it last? The truth is, who the heck knows, honestly. Some people are saying the low fares are gonna last for a while as sort of an enticement to get people back comfortable with the idea of flying. People are not gonna even consider buying an expensive plane ticket at this point. Others are saying that there's going to be less planes flying due to bankruptcies, less of a capacity on the plane, which means less passengers, and therefore that will drive the prices up. I've already seen complaints online of airlines increasing their baggage fees. Now, something that I'm kind of secretly excited about that's probably going to come from all of this, there's likely to be some pretty great incentives to travel once it's deemed safe to do so. Everybody's definition of safe to travel is different, but once borders start opening up and airlines are flying and tour agencies are running tours again, I have a feeling, based on what I'm reading online, there's going to be some pretty great incentives to help boost the tourism industry again. There have been numerous reports that Sicily's regional government is setting aside $50 million towards their incentive programs. They'll be paying half the airfare and 1 out of every 3-night hotel stay, and also including a lot of free entries to museums and archaeological sites, which is really cool. I've always wanted to go to Italy. This sounds pretty great to me. The catch is that this is open to travelers who are willing to travel to Italy this year upon the reopening of the borders. Not everybody's comfortable with the idea of that. A major hotel CEO of a few different hotel chains in Las Vegas just announced that they are giving away 1,000 free flights to encourage people back to Las Vegas. Japan announced that it is offering subsidies towards travel expenses as well in the form of discounts and coupons that can be used at a variety of local shops and restaurants. Well, whether you're like me and you're really excited to get back out exploring the world when it's safe to do so, or you are not getting in another plane for the next century, I think we can all agree that the future of travel and tourism is really uncertain at this point. I hope this video gave you a little bit of a better idea of what to maybe expect during your future travels. Please give this video a like and let me know what you thought down in the comments. Are you excited to travel? Are you never traveling again? Make sure to hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss my next video. If you're an adventurer like me, hang in there, guys. We'll get back out there soon.